This video is so unplanned, but I need to get it out of the way, and say it the way it is, right? So before I left Nigeria, I used to be a teacher. I used to teach primary 4 and 5. Trust me when I tell you, it wasn't an easy task at all whatsoever. It is very, very tiring to control children that are not yours. To get these children to listen to you in the first place, you have to be really, really tough. In most cases, I have knowledge about how the Nigerian school system can work, and particularly with the primary, kindergarten, and also secondary school. Trust me, I know how they work. But I left Nigeria and then I returned 7 years later. A lot of things have changed, like too many dramas going on, particularly with the parents. The children are not the problem anymore. The parents are not the problem that we have in the Nigerian school system. And these are the things that I want to look into and also talk about the advantages and how Nigerian school system has impacted my children in the positive way. Now, if you are planning on relocating back to Nigeria and you are thinking, oh, man, this is Nigeria, I'm going to be covering everything in today's video and tips and tricks on how you can navigate this school system to make it a better place for you and that your diaspora baby. Yes, if you're new to the channel, you're welcome. My name is Gloria, otherwise known as Mama G1 of YouTube. Thank you so much for stopping by. Do want to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Let's dive right in. November of 2024, I moved back to Nigeria, and as such, I am expected to enroll my kids in school. Unfortunately, they were already in the midterm test doing their whatever that they were doing, and my children could not, join the other kids, so they had to wait for second term, which begins at January of 2025. And as such, they've been in school for 3 good months now. And I'll tell you for free that it's been amazing. Although there's been drama here and there, but it's been amazing. Now, let's take a look at the first problem that I'm having, particularly as a former teacher, with the other parents who are just basic people. When I mean basic, they don't know the educational system. Right. So first of all, if your child is in the primary 1 or primary 2, you will have a WhatsApp group where you belong to, where other parents, where you get to relate or talk with the other parents. Right. So for me, my child is in nursery 2 and pre-nursery 1. I have 2 groups that I belong to, and trust me when I tell you, we have approximately 165 parents over there, and you can never see me type a word. Reason being that I just try to avoid all of these things because I don't need it. Secondly, it is very hard for me to socialize with people, like new people, and make new friends. Hence, I have been with my bestie for almost 12 years, and that's it. Right, let's take a look at the chaos that we always have. We are going to look at the birthday chaos that is going on. It's actually a competition right now, but I don't belong in that category. It is now parents acting as the children. And I start to wonder why. It will never ever make sense to me. I try to relate and see reasons as to why they always do this. But it is just like, oh my gosh, I need to leave and I need to leave immediately. Right. Let's say, for example, a child is doing a birthday party, which we are supposed to keep simple as ABCD. Right. It is a child's birthday. In most cases, they don't even remember all of these things. We do birthdays for ourselves as the parents to make ourselves feel good in most times. Let's say a child in nursery 2 who is 5 years or going to 6 years is doing birthday party. You will see the birthday packs, and this thing has turned to competition. Now, if you are doing birthday packs and in your heart you just want to do it because you want to do it and you are not expecting anything in return, then it is fine. But if you are doing it so that others can also reciprocate that love, trust me, we don't want such an expensive party packs. Please keep it to yourself, because at the end of the day, we are not equal. We are not equal. Our kids might be in the same school, but trust me, we are not equal. Some people, they can sacrifice their last card for their child to be in the best school, but back home they are drinking gari in most cases. And it is like that for me. I know the importance of education. I can spend my last card for my kids to go to school, to be in the best school at that. But do not expect me to be in that competition with you, because I cannot afford it. And when I tell you, or when my child is doing birthday and you are expecting something in return and I do not meet up as a parent, you tend to frown and just be carrying long face up and down. Madam, who sent you? Nobody actually sent you. Even your husband is not aware. You are the primary person, the number one Ogbuche that is pushing all of this competition, this party packs competition in school. Nobody sent you other than yourself, and you are doing all of these things as a trauma response. It is not healthy whatsoever. Quote me anywhere. Growing up, right, I never ever did my birthday in school. The only thing my father would give us then is breakfast and water to school. You see that breakfast we ate at home. That's the breakfast. That's the food we would have in our tummy till we get back home around 2 in the afternoon. And in most cases, when you get back, you have to prepare fresh food for yourself to eat. That's how I was raised all through my school days. That's how I was raised. And that's why maybe I am contented with what I have today. Maybe that's why even when you buy a Lamborghini and I have a Toyota, I will be more happier than you in most cases because of that training that my parents give me, and also it was backed up with the society. But nowadays, you guys create unnecessary competition with children, within the kids, right? If Merida is coming to school today with Volkswagen, tomorrow they are expecting Danisha to come with a Benz. The competition continues, and it is not healthy for both parents and the children. That's one thing I do not like about the Nigerian school system, and I hope that they will look into it, because we went to PTA meeting that day and they were talking about it, and I was so happy. But they have not stopped it totally, but they are just, it's a warning for parents to reduce it, because the unhealthy competition is not necessary at this very early age of these children's life. It is not healthy. I want to talk about how when you don't have a car and you try to, be in the school environment, it actually depends on your car, the way you dress. That's how they will give you respect. It's happening here, particularly here in Abuja. I have not seen in other places. That's why I say things has actually changed, because it wasn't like that way back, right? So it actually depends on your car, the way you dress. That's how they will address you and give you that respect. For those of us that don't have, but our kids are in the same school with their kids who they feel like, okay, they are in different category. They look us less, but it is okay. It is one step at a time. These are the things that I don't like. Again, unhealthy competition. Is a school is a place for children to learn. It is not a place for adults, the parents, to come and be doing competition of wealth. We are not equal. Let's take a look at the advantages that I have that I want to speak on and broadcast it to the whole wide world. Nigerian school system will transform your kids from 0 to 100. You take it or you leave it. I cannot stress, I will not stress about it. I am a practical example. When I tell you my child, particularly my first son, he has improved drastically. Sometimes I do blame myself for even staying in diaspora for that long when I had him. When they tell you it takes a village to raise a child, they are talking about Nigeria, or let's say Africa, or let's say West Africa. I cannot speak for other African countries, but West Africa. In most cases, when children are misbehaving in diaspora, parents will tend to warn them or threaten them by sending them back home. Once they hear they are coming back to Nigeria, it's not a child's play. When they come, their heads, they regulate. I am a practical example. Way back in diaspora, I would tell my child, write this. He will be so slow, like a snail. You know the way snail moves, right? He will more than, he is even slower than a snail. When I enrolled my child in school, I talked about how he does everything slowly and how he was performing in school in general. So they told me to bring transcript, and I brought the transcript. Now the transcript was through the Google Drive, and I had to transfer or share it with the school. They read through it and they analyzed the boy, and they determined the class that he's supposed to be in, which is nursery 2, right? So he's in nursery 2. When I tell you, the moment my child went to school and came back, I could not recognize that boy anymore. Because where we are coming from, they will pamper them morning till night. Every day is pampering. Oh, they are not doing this. They are not doing this. Do you know how many times I have requested for my kids, for my child's school in diaspora, to be giving this boy homework? They will say, what is homework? That is too small. What is homework? What is this? What is this? I would even request and beg the teacher, but still or still they wouldn't. They will not give him homework. All they know how to do is take them for excursion. Today they are in physics museum. Tomorrow then today they use science kill my picking head. My child is was interested in science way back because that's what they were teaching him. Right. They do more of practical than theory. But in Nigerian school system, they miss am. When we came into the country and I enrolled them in school, this school, we are expecting my child to be copying notes from the board, a 5 years old. This is something he has never ever been used to. Even to write for a formal school is a problem. They don't write. All they know is draw square, draw circle. How can you be teaching a 5 years old how to draw circle when in fact when you come back to Nigeria, that's what they are teaching 2 years old. A 5 years old, you are telling him to draw circle. Right. But when I brought him back to Nigeria, they were teaching them even number and odd number. I say, hey, what's going on here? 5 years old is already doing even numbers and odd number. A 5 years old. But way back in diaspora, they will pamper them, rub them, make them take a nap. Why are you taking a nap? Is that how they are supposed to learn? Right. So for that aspect, my child has improved drastically. Now let's take a look at what the school did that got me. I'm like, don't do that with my child, please. When we came back to the country, the first week was a struggle for my child because he cannot relate to the school system. He wasn't born here, so he does not know the system. They were expecting him to write from the board. Every day when I opened the book, I would see red biro everywhere. The teacher was complaining. I said, but I have said all of these things to the head teacher before I enrolled this boy in the school. Because I didn't want to hide. Where my son was failing, I told them. Right. So I didn't want to hide. I told them where he was lacking. Every day, the teacher would complain in his notebook that he cannot write from the board. He cannot do this one. He does not know how to copy straight line. I say, Kilele long. So that got me really thinking. I'm like, did this woman not listen or read through the letter that I wrote to the school? I sent another letter and I wrote to the teacher personally. I said, Madam, I know this is what we know how to do best in Nigeria, whereby we pressure the children to do more than their age. I said, we know how to pressure children, but you see, this is my particular son. I said, when you pressure him, he will shut down. That thing you are trying to teach him how to read and write, he will not get it. I need you to calm down, and I don't need you to be pressuring my child in your class anymore. I wrote to her. Before you know, the school, they wrote me a letter. Oh, madam, we are sorry. We did not mention this one. We did not mention this one. We are so sorry. We don't mean to be like that. I said, You see that mentality that I used to have. You have to pressure a child to do something. Let's throw it away. Work hand in hand with the child and meet the child where they are. When you meet a child where that child is, you guys will work effortlessly together. You don't have to pressure nobody. There will be no pressure. I mean, not everybody can work under pressure. So when they remove that pressure for my son, because I told them I don't like it, that red biro is stopped immediately. I say, don't worry. The handwriting will not be complaining about. I will work on it. Just how many months? 3 months. If you see the way my child is writing, you guys saw it now. You guys saw it. Bringing my children back to Nigeria, be like say, I opened their mouth, their zip, that tape when they did their mouth before. I opened it automatically. My children that was not doing well before, to socialize with people is a problem. See them, they're always outside 247 because of this school that I brought them in. We live alone here. There are no kids to play with here. The only time they see kids to play with is when they go to school. So don't say, oh, it's because they have kids to play around with at home. It's a lie. They go to school by 7 and come back by 3. So the whole of 7, 8, 9 to 3 p.m. they are with their age mates and playing with their age mates and speaking the same language, unlike where we were coming from. So I will be speaking Mandarin, so I will be speaking Malayu, so I will be speaking Indian, right? And my child will be there with nobody to speak English with. And he cannot speak Chinese, and he cannot speak Malayu, and he cannot speak this one. But now, everybody is in sync. They speak one language and one language only, which is English. Right. So no discrimination, no nothing, and my child is flourishing. Again, I thought to myself, why did I delay? Why did I delay? Why did I not bring my son back, my children back to Nigeria? I don't regret to. If not be the school fees, the only thing I will say, do where your power reach. But the school fees is actually expensive. But you see that result when you define that you want your child to improve. Your child will improve if you carry them come Nigeria. They will improve. And the funny thing is, most parents, they don't know that it is what you give your children in kindergarten, primary, and secondary. Now, what they will take grow enter university. That's it. Because this is the foundation. The foundation have to be solid before we reach the rooftop. University level is actually the rooftop. When you give them solid foundation like this, they go nowhere. That means they are solid and they are good for life. Every week, my child is reading novel. Every week, they are doing spelling bee. They just rounded up this spelling bee. Look at the entire sport they did. My child won. I'm like, this has never happened in my life before. Never, ever, ever. I see my child flourishing. Flourishing. I kept my child in isolation and I was doubting him at first. But when I brought him out here to the motherland, I'm like, okay, Nigeria. Whatever you throw at me, I'm going to accept. But you see, this one with my child, they do well. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna do your thing. So yeah, that's basically it for me. That's just my review about the school system so far. I thought of sharing with particularly mothers that want to relocate. If you want to take a try just for the first 6 months, even 1 year. You will see the huge difference. If you not see difference, come here. We apologize to you. But anyways, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. As usual, I'll see you guys in my next one. Till then, remain blessed and remain safe. Bye bye.